Donna, that was brilliant. You all thought that was brilliant.
And you have to make the face. You have to go,
And the
oh,
facial, yeah.
yeah, you have to do that. Yeah, if you're wearing pearls, clutch at your pearls. Oh my God, you mean you're not yeah, you have to do the whole thing. It's not just the words. I'm not kidding.
Clutch the pros.
The pearls,
Sorry, could
everyone.
you
And
So
the Oscar goes to
sorry, can
Donna.
you repeat that,
it
please? Sorry.
does. It does. So here's the thing,
I'll make
Hannah.
sure I bring my pearls to the next appointment.
Oh, there's this thing again.
Sorry, can you just
So,
repeat that for me, please?
the good news, Hannah, we've got it on the Scripps Jedi YouTube stream channel. If you go and look at the live streams there, you'll catch what Donna's brilliance is. We try to get it all captured, but some brilliance we don't get captured. But nonetheless, we still jump on the live microphone here at the bottom of the hour. I'm going to introduce the show, and then we'll keep going with some other bits. So welcome. This is the National Real Estate Conversation. New people are here. It's so exciting. Your favorite place in North America to get your words going in real estate. We'll start each day with some opportunity to talk about some things. Some great nuggets this morning. Jonathan came with a challenge. Donna Gilbert delivered an amazing script. If you want to hear that, go back to the YouTube channel. That's where it was streamed in the live section. You got to go into the live feature to be able to listen to that. So we're here finishing up a little bit of a Jonathan struggle with a buyer issue. Valerie Presley has some wisdom she'd like to throw in. Valerie Presley, what say you to this challenging buyer circumstance that Jonathan brought up?
I totally agree with Nicole and Auntie Donna. You just let them vent. And as we talked about earlier this morning on the call, come from curiosity. What type of experience were you expecting? And just simply, how can I help you? Let's just why don't we slow it down a little bit and tell me what it is you're looking for.
We have to have a mission. We have to have a mission from them. Oh my goodness, what is this thing doing? So we've got to have a good footing with our clients and understand how to serve them. So Jonathan, when I heard what you said, it sounded like we just didn't have enough information from them and that you needed to tell me more. Tell me a little bit more what's going on. And like
Yeah,
Donna said,
she sounded. I'm sorry, Chris.
like Donna said, there may be some inexperience with the process, and a valuable tool to just answer her pressure relief valve would be to just assign you as their realtor, just in their mind share. You don't have to sign anything. Just put my name down whenever you're touring houses, and realtors will stop calling you. So,
Yeah.
I put into the chat. I want to ask you guys if you wanted to see what group coaching was like with Bernadette. There's a highlight reel I put into the chat. You can click on that, and it's from yesterday's group coaching, and it goes through exactly what she does in action coaching. She'll illustrate some of the accountability and tracking that goes on. She'll show some of the playbooks. So copy the link that's in the chat, goes to our YouTube channel, or you can just go to the YouTube channel later, and I set it up as the instant premiere. So you can jump on with her if you wanted to do that type of coaching, somebody in your business working very closely with the activities that you're doing. Action coaching is what Bernadette does with her group, and it's a really successful group. I'm very happy and proud of them. I get to listen on the back end. It's a fun group to do your business with. So find out more about that. You can jump in on that, and I'll put some stuff out through the socials this weekend. If you want to jump on a call to find out more from her, you can do that. She will answer your call. So I have a script I'm going to put into the chat. It's a new script, everyone. Goes along with our expired season, sort of the theme for yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So there's the script in the chat. They're going to say something to us like, we want to interview other agents. And you say the next line. What's the next line in the script? Somebody say it.
Okay, I understand.
That's it. Just align yourself with them. Okay, I understand. Somebody read the next line in the script.
On a scale of 1 to 5, how honest do you think I am? How honest do you think I'm being, with 5 being honest?
Get them to emote a confirmation that we are on the level with them. Okay, so that's the purpose of that statement. Who would like to read the next statement in the chat?
If there weren't other agents, would you feel comfortable hiring me today? And
I love it, Kim. Hold on, Kim. We're going to start with the paragraph of now, up at now.
oh,
It says
okay, my
after
bad.
honest
I'm
sent
sorry.
now.
Yep,
You're
I'm
good.
sorry. I'm
Read the
sorry.
one now read it from now.
Yep. Now, when you think of the experience that someone brings to the table after looking at my experience, how would you rate my experience? How would you rate my experience to get the job done? I don't know.
That's a typo. It's
Yeah.
correct. You read it correctly. That was
Okay.
my fault on the typing. All right, the next one begins with based. Who wants to read based?
Based on my experience and my guarantees, how do you think I would be rated on a scale of 1 to 5?
A couple simple statements, right? We're all talking about ourselves. We're talking about our honesty, talking about our professionalism. Now, here's the hook question here. What's that next statement? Who wants to read that one? Begins with if there. Go ahead, Barb Whitney.
If there weren't other agents, would you feel comfortable hiring me today? And you don't want them to waste their time at having already done the work.
Would you feel comfortable saying that? If there weren't other agents, would you feel comfortable hiring me today? Like they've already said they're going to interview other agents. You've agreed with that, but you're still sort of pushing at it a little bit. They're going to tell you this at the table, right? You're at the listing presentation and they'll say, oh, this looks great, but we've got 3 other agents to interview. This is a way you sort of navigate through that. What's that next paragraph there? It begins with what if they?
What if they haven't done the work yet and you're actually saving them the time? Wouldn't that be better?
You got to pause at the end of that to give them a moment to reflect on what you've just said. And if you're saving somebody work, yeah, I guess that is better. I'm in agreement with that. This is the next one. Next one's really easy. That's why Miriam raised her hand. Miriam, read the next statement.
It actually could be a win-win for them. May I explain?
Get permission to tell the details. You got to say, may I explain? And give them a chance not to think of why it would be, but you're going to now give them the details. Who wants to read the closing paragraph?
I can give them a call and let them know that we decided to work together and that the house will be listed today. They can have first crack at bringing their buyers to your home. Do you want me to make those calls for you?
Who would get excited about being able to make that call? I'm just saying, you don't get that call unless you give them a little bit of a nurture through their decision-making process. They're going to reach out to you and say, I've got other agents to interview. Can somebody tell me I've got other agents to interview?
I've got other agents to interview.
Okay, I understand. Let me ask you this, though. On a scale of 1 to 5, how honest do you think I'm being, with 5 being considered honest? Somebody answer. Not Ian.
I'll give you a 4.
See, I don't need that. I'm a 5.
5. I'll give you a 5.
Thank you. They're never going to say 4 at the table, everybody. They're not going to say that. This is a setup question. So they'll say 5. Now, when you think of the experience that someone brings to the table, after looking at my experience, how would you rate my experience to get the job done?
It looks very good.
Okay. Do you think, like on a scale of 1 to 5, do you think I'd get the job done being a 5?
Yeah.
Now, if there weren't other agents, would you feel comfortable hiring me today?
Yes, I would.
And you don't want them to waste their time having already done the work and getting prepared to meet with you. Is that kind of what you're thinking?
Well, I kind of have them stacked up, so I would expect they've already done the work.
Okay. But what if they hadn't done the work yet and they were actually saving them time by choosing to work with me today? I mean, it actually could be a win-win for them. Could I explain?
Yeah, that's an option.
You see, here's the thing. I can give them a call right now and let them know that we've decided to work together. And that way they can have first crack at bringing any of their buyers over to your listing, knowing it's already on the market. Do you want me to make those calls for you?
Oh, that would be nice so that I don't have to call and cancel the appointments.
You're going to be shocked. You have no, this isn't a referral deal. This is a earned appointment. You've called somebody, you've set an appointment. You've lucked out that they were talking about moving at the kitchen table and you're just the second or third realtor to call them and you got in line to be interviewed. Now, if you're first in the gate and they really like you and they're decisive people, close the deal. Don't say, I hope you have a good time and come back. Say, gosh, let me close. You don't want to waste your time, do you? You couldn't had a hard enough time getting realtors to line up to come over here to be interviewed. Let's just get the ball rolling. What do you say? Like, you've got to introduce some closing concepts for people. So this is a tactic that when you hear the phrase at the interview, they say, we've got other agents. How will you navigate that? Get them to validate you twice. You're honest. You've got a 5-star plan. Then introduce the save time concept and then the make call concept.
I actually made that call sitting at the table with them for the person that was supposed to show up in 45 minutes. And they heard him asking me, oh, have they actually signed the papers yet? And I said, well, yes, they have. I mean, they heard the whole thing.
And if you have the paperwork in your folder, in addition to having the DocuSign, you really can get the paperwork signed.
Yeah.
Because the paper wet signatures is still the old-fashioned way to get the agreement, my friends. So copy this script in the chat, rephrase it to how you want, but think of the tactics of what we're introducing here. You're going to hear an objection. Get some validation of your service being high and top-notch. There's no objection to what you deliver. And then introduce the way that they can relieve their obligation through just leveraging our activities that we do naturally. Would you like me to call them for you and just let them know about the amazing opportunity that we've decided to do together? I don't mind doing it. I do it every day. Gina Jenkins has a question. Miss Jenkins.
Hi. I wanted to ask, so if I was that agent that's getting that call from that other agent, obviously it wouldn't be nice. How would you respond to that? I mean, I would have been like, no, I'm still coming to my scheduled appointment for that listing.
Oh, you're more than welcome to come by. I totally understand. I just don't want you to waste your time because we've already signed the agreement.
Well, a waste of time would be not me making the appointment to show what I can do as well.
Yeah, and listen, you're free to show what you can do. I just want to understand that we've already got a signed representation agreement with the seller, and our processes are underway. So you have the opportunity, because you're first out of the gate knowing about it, to introduce it to any buyers. But once it goes on the MLS, it's going to go to everybody. So our stage and process is in place.
Well, until the ink is dry, then I will continue with my appointment.
I'll let the sellers decide that, but make sure we don't violate any tertiary any interference in our contracts. Like, I just want to be clear with that. We'll let the sellers that. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. It's up to them to interview you. They actually called me to cancel the interview, but if you want to come by, they can tell you in person too.
Yes, because I would prefer them tell me to cancel the appointment than my colleague of agent to tell me that.
Oh, I understand totally. Do you want me to hand the phone off to them so you can save the guests driving over here?
Nope, not at all. I will meet them when I see them at the house.
Super. Best of luck to you. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
That's why I practice it here. Right?
They're going to conveniently not be home because she wouldn't take the hint.
That's fine. I'll knock on the door.
I mean, that's kind of confrontational, because the whole reason we call is to save the seller the angst of going through that. But I would conveniently not be home.
But be prepared, right?
Wouldn't that put the receiving, like the agent that was called to say, the agent that got the message like, hey, don't show up anymore, it's already been signed. If I as a client heard that person like, nope, I'm still gonna come, I'd be like, okay, first of all, I'm not gonna answer the door. Secondly, I'd be like, yeah, no, you're crazy. I'm not gonna do this.
But that was great, because that seemed very real. Can you not picture somebody doing that? You can picture it. That was a good exercise.
Absolutely. You're absolutely.
Yeah. Guys, I don't want you to
also,
go.
But I have to say this, guys, if you're fine, great. If you're the agent that's being told to make this call, then fine, you're on that side. But can you imagine you're the agent receiving that call saying, listen, don't come over, don't bother. I already got the listing. that's still not okay, you know? Because we all prepare to do our work. We all prepare to do our presentation. So to be told not by the actual person, the homeowner, to be told by a colleague that, you know, don't worry, don't come by. That doesn't sit well.
All right, here's
You
what we're
don't
gonna do.
believe them?
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to the breakout
rooms.
rooms. Give me 1 second, everybody. Give me 1 second. We're gonna go to breakout rooms. If you came here to practice, take the script, click on breakout rooms, jump in a breakout room, do a round robin of some type of dialogue that you need to level up with. And we'll talk about the other part in the main room. But I want to give people who are here to practice a chance to click down below. Usually the 3 dots will have the breakout rooms button. You can jump into one that has usually 2 or 3 people. Everybody gets a good turn to practice. Here's some objections. Here's some dialogue. And you can work on whatever you want. You're not locked into this script. So double thumbs up. See you just before the top of the hour.
Chris, before I go in a room, we've learned also to ask if they are interviewing other agents. And sometimes we can be hesitant because we don't want to know about competition. But I actually did that, and the seller said, "No, I'm hiring you." And so I didn't have to go through like proving what I can do and all of that. So that's a good question to ask and know how to go forward. So thank you for teaching us that.
Shirley, my favorite entry-level statement is like literally walk in the door. You guys get ready to get started with the paperwork. That's like the first thing you say. And if they say, no, I have a question, perfect. Which one? Marketing or the numbers? Which is most important to you?
Awesome.
And narrow the field. See what you want to talk about.
Thank you.
Chris?
Yes.
So I have been on the receiving end of that. Like, oh, thanks, we already have somebody because the person that came before you showed improved. And how I pivoted it was, oh, cool. Can I still come and get a quick view of the house before everybody else, before it goes on the market, so I can market it to the people that I have? And usually they'll be like, that's fine, and let you come and see if you still want to go over there or whatever. But I'm no longer in competition for the listing because it's already listed. But you are now the first person to go in there. You can say, hey, do you mind if I advertise this? I'll gladly put your name and number as well as my own. Or do you mind if I just post about it or whatever? And if it's the same company, obviously, can I do an open house here? But you just pivot on it and change it to a benefit for you and for them.
Definitely could be. Preview the market, know the inventory. I mean, I think in both in Raleigh and in Austin, the inventory is not like massive. So there's benefits to knowing where the coming soon situations are. And if you have a social presence where you can publish, you know, you walking into a house, then you get it. So publish that. Harvey Yellen is here. Hey, Harvey.
Hello, good morning. I think, so to that point that was just made, I think another comment on being the agent who is on the receiving end of that call that someone else was selected. I think it's important to be graceful when you receive that news. You know, you don't want to be, you know, you can say that you're disappointed, but I think you also want to say, listen, you've done a thorough you've gone through a thorough process. You've interviewed people. You've made the choice that you feel is right for you at this moment. But I want you to know that I'm always going to be available to you. And you don't want to break any agency barriers, but you know, you kind of want to say if you ever have questions, if I could be of help to you in any way, because you never know that agreement with that agent may not turn out to be all that they thought it was going to be, and you want to be that second in line should they ever decide that they need to move on from that agent. So you want to be gracious about it, and you want to still remain top of mind with them. And you know, you Chris or anybody else, I think it's even okay to call up every now and then and say, hey, how's it going? Just so that you do remain top of mind. So again, I don't know if that crosses over any boundary of agency. I see Donna, you know, responding to some of these comments. So, but I'd love to hear if that's appropriate. But anyways, just be gracious about receiving that news.
I have a cadence with my for sale by owners that look like that. Just checking my market updates. I mean, I have this 1.2 million duplex downtown Austin. She's in Seattle with 3 kids and a half empty duplex. Good luck. right? It's just there's a lot going on for sale by owner like that. So for sure. Donna, you do have your hand up. Oh, so many, 7 others. I got to get all these.
Yeah,
Go, Donna.
so Harvey, I love that. Yeah, always be gracious. If you're going to be in this business for a long time, you have to learn how to win with grace and how to lose with grace, because you could be next up or you could be bringing the buyer, and
Right.
that's fine. So the conversation goes like this. So hi, Chris, hi, it's Donna Gilbert. I'm sitting here with Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and I know you have an appointment for later this evening. I just wanted to let you know they've instructed me to call all of their appointments and cancel them. We've gone ahead and signed the listing agreement. It'll be going on the market. It'll be going live on Friday. And so I would sure love it if you would bring the buyer. Thanks so much. I have been instructed by Mr. and Mrs. to cancel their appointments. We have already signed the listing agreement. I've received that call many times. And you say, thanks for the call, good luck. When does it go live? You immediately pivot.
Horses out of the barn, whatever it is. Right. But like you said, you build rapport with these people because there's always an opportunity if the home doesn't hit the market in the way it should. There's a lot of markets that are 60, 90 days on and people with concerns because they got bad advice. They didn't get a realtor who said, it'll never sell at that. You have to be at this next pricing category. And they said, no, we will only list it at that. And they said yes, and they got 90 days on market and no showings or no offers. Let's go up. Vicky DeLuca has her hand up. Hey, Vicky.
Yeah, I mean, it's what everyone else said, but my whole thing is that to me, I'm in a business of relationships. And if I receive that call, just like Harvey said, just like Donna said, I'm going to say, listen, as disappointed as I am, congratulations. And I'm going to do everything I can to bring you a buyer. Please let me know if I can, work with you. I'd love for you, if I can bring a buyer, for you to consider us first, if we put a strong offer. Because to me, we forget how important it is to have the relationship with every single agent. And then I would go and either make a call or a text to the sellers and say, I hear the news, and as disappointed as I am, I would love the opportunity, if anything goes sideways, to be there for you. Reach out at any time. That's it.
Love it. Carlos.
Hi, Carlos here from Miami. So I think it's a two-part thing, right? When I'm booking the appointments and they said, they mentioned that they're gonna be interviewing other agents, I always make it a point to say, well, I understand, and you're doing the right thing. You're being smart about it. Please don't sign anything until I have an opportunity to meet with you and show you what I could do. And then if I ever get that call, which I have gotten before, and I also made that call, if you get that call, listen, we don't want to create a reputation of being rude or whatever. I'll tell the agent, hey, great, thank you for letting me know. I'm still gonna contact them just to hear directly from them, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Call the client, see, hey, listen, I'm confirming our appointment. No, yeah, we're already done with somebody else. Okay, great. Listen, if anything ever changes, please keep me in mind. And I think that's the way to go about it.
Thank you, Carlos. Patricia Canale, Nueva York.
Hello there. So I don't know if you would mind, but I have another question to ask, and not about that topic.
Fire right that.
Okay, so I had a situation where I was working on a listing that came to me from some other thing. So I contacted this person about another property. He told me that he wasn't selling that property. He was selling this particular property. And I said, okay, great. We were working on scheduling an appointment. I went on the MLS. I saw that they were already in contract with another agent, and it was due to expire January 31st. So I said to him, it's due to expire January 31st. I can't speak with you until your contract expires. Okay, fine. I reach out to him after, and that company, without him knowing it, extended his contract date for 2 months.
That's awesome.
So I was like, do you know that now it's March 31st? And he's like, no. And I was like, well, you're in contract now till March 31st. He's hesitant. He said, I'm not a confrontational person. I can't call them and say anything to them. So I was just wondering, does anyone here on the panel or out there, would someone have done something differently? Would they have contacted that agent? Like, what would you do under those circumstances?
Talk to your broker. New York is different than any other state, Pat. That's the one
Yeah, I
I
already
don't
did.
know.
Yeah,
Out of courtesy, like our MLSs in both Raleigh, Houston, and Austin, the three markets that I work, they're really rigid on compliance. So when I had an agent put under agent remarks that the home was under contract and it went 24 hours where she didn't change it to pending, I messaged her twice. I'm like, hey, what's up? She said, oh, I'm sorry, I'm just changing it now. Because there's compliance to the MLS because you can't have stuff out of alignment because you'll get fines for bad data.
right.
So I don't know how it is in New York, but I do certainly, if I knew that there was something that wasn't under contract, I'd talk to my broker and say, what do we do within our MLS? Like this seller is not under contract, but the broker is changing it in the MLS without a signed extension. What should we do? And let your broker who's in those conversations be the one that sort of determines what the next step would be.
Okay, thank you.
Can I throw
Chris,
something in?
I'm in
Yes.
New York.
Hold on for
um,
once. Hold on for once. Actually, Valerie, hold on. Nicole, go.
So I'm in New York, real quick, whichever board you're with, contact your board. There is a whole compliance committee. I'm not on it this year, thank God. Um, but they will help you. And and you can literally say, listen, I have somebody who wanted to list with me, but the other agent and other brokerage without his knowledge upped his listing. And as far as he knows, he's never signed anything. What can happen? They will take that information, they will investigate it, and they will deal with it because New York is super strict about timelines. I've been fined $150 because I did not put, I didn't change a status.
Yep.
And I was on the committee at the time. So
Everybody
there's
makes mistakes, right? But they
yeah,
put guardrails in to keep the stuff as consistent for all of us. Like we need to know
exactly.
when is it listed, when is expired, when it's sold. We need all those data points to give people good advice.
But definitely contact your broker and contact your board directly. The board, you don't even need to say, you just call and the secretary or assistant who answers the phone will direct you to who you need to speak to.
Does that impact the seller at all? Because he's an
No.
elderly person.
No. Not at all. Literally, the only way it will impact him is ideally that agent and brokerage could contact him and apologize because it's deceitful.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you.
I've had the same situation last year in Brooklyn, and I reached out to the agent and I said, "Look, the client's looking to list it with another brokerage, and you really don't have authorization to continue having it posted in our MLS. So I'm asking you to please take it down so that we don't have to take it any further than this." And within a couple of days, they took it down. And that's what I would do before I would talk to my broker first, and then I'm quite sure your broker will reach out to them and ask them, politely to take it down and go from there.
Pulling the reins back. I'm pulling it back, Lorenzo. Pulling it back. We got to close the show out. Welcome back,
right.
everybody. Back on the other side. Valerie Presley had her hand up, patiently waiting. Valerie, everybody's about to jump in the room. Ice this call off with some great icing from New Jersey, Valerie.
Everybody's forgetting one person. It's the seller. Yes, in our MLS, if somebody extends a listing without getting the person's approval, you can get that canceled, but you have to show them that you have legitimate paperwork. So you've got to talk to the seller first. Pain versus pleasure. You don't owe them anything. You don't owe me anything. You do owe yourself the very best. What kind of service are you getting? If he's like hesitant to, be confrontational, just say, look, I'm happy to, help you. We can get this signed and then I'll take care of handling the side with them. Because the MLS will not let somebody keep something on if they don't have legitimate paperwork backing it up.
They will not. They will not. We're back on the other side. At the top of the hour, we do salutes to everybody who had a great call. We had a good main room session unpacking a lot of challenges. I appreciate the authenticity people bring to the table and the openness to which we can share it. I think it's helpful for everybody. My golden bumper sticker nugget is I'm happy to be familiar with you guys. I'm happy to be consistent with you all, and I hope you have an amazing weekend. Call some expireds this weekend. Go visit some. And if you're struggling with coaching or you want to see what our coaching program looks like, click on the link I put in the chat to our YouTube channel. You can be into the call from yesterday, see what it looks like to work with the action coaching group, our playbooks, all the different things, and we'll go from there. So my friends, we'll be back on Monday, same time, same channel. Oh, sneak peek, the disc workshop is coming back in 2 weeks. We're disc workshop. We're going to post that link up here. So we're going to do a 4-session disc workshop coming up in 2 weeks. So see you guys on Monday.
Thank
Lisa
you.
Prilliman,
Have a good
are you
weekend.
here? Lisa Prilliman?
Thank you, Chris.
Have a great
Thank
weekend.
you.
No, Lisa Prilliman. Ruth Mahasi. Oh my gosh. Aziz?
Yes, that was me.
There you go.
Should have been first.
Great. Thank you.
But you received your inspiration. Now put in the perspiration. Let me get a Ric Flair. Woo!
Woohoo! Have a great weekend, everyone.
Have a great day, everyone.
Woo! Great
Bye,
day,
everyone.
great weekend.
Have a great
Go
weekend.
get it.
Wonderful real estate weekend, everyone. Thank you, Chris.
Day, everyone.
I'm going to the beach.
Enjoy.
Bye, Barb.
That's cold, Barb.
Barb's just rubbing it in,
Oh,
rubbing it
she's
in.
not in Canada.
Hopefully you get a
Steve, you
tan.
are a nut.
Bring Steve Tyler with you to the beach.
I know. I wish he was here with me.
Dream
Left him at
on.
home.
Have fun,
Dream
Barb.
on.
Enjoy it.
Make it a
Have a
successful
successful
day.
weekend.
There
Yes.
it is. Look at
Thank
that.
you,
From
Mark.
downtown, Mark
Thanks,
Benson,
Mark.
Sage of Southwest Florida.